Hello, this is Illustrious Magic and Steven Santana. Now this is hopefully a short video going over what is available on PlayStation Plus for PS4, PS3, and Vita for January of 2016, just in case you haven't already read or watched a video about it. So let's get started. On PS4 we have Honor Rivals, which is a car combat game developed by FCE Connected Content Group, and its first release is part of the PlayStation Plus lineup for January 2016. Now, due to the car combat nature and its first release coinciding with free status on PS Plus, it makes me think of Rocket League and in its success, first launching with July's PlayStation Plus in 2015. However, while Rocket League lit people on fire with its solid gameplay, Hardware Rivals won't. First, the movement and camera controls just don't work very well. Due to it being a combat game, you aren't in an open field with the only goal being to hit an oversized ball into a goal. With Combat Rivals, you are both trying to avoid being hit by missiles and other weapons, while simultaneously taking out opponents driving around a map filled with obstructions. Because of this, if you focus on enemies, your camera won't show you what's ahead as you drive, leading to smacking into walls and blowing up. However, if you only focus on driving and shooting what's in front of you, you won't be able to see what's coming from behind, and can easily be flanked with no way to retaliate, and you blow up. It's a lose-lose situation. The game has its moments, but the modes are pretty bare bones, the weapons aren't clear and which does the most damage, and one map has an airstrike that blows you up even if you're in a structure. You have to be underground. It kind of feels cheap. So, Hardware Rivals is just okay. Then we have Grim Fandango on PS4 and also cross-buy on Vita. Now this is from Double Fine. They're bringing back an old adventure PC game from the 90s that was originally developed by LucasArts. I played through the first two chapters when it first released January of last year and enjoyed it, though wow, it is obtuse when it comes to progression. I needed a strategy guide to figure out what items or combination needed to proceed, and the game does little to help you figure it out. And I didn't feel clever figuring it out on my own when I rarely did. It was more like I was banging against a wall until it finally came down. Despite this, I love the noir theme and Day of the Dead aesthetic, the music, the characters, and the art. It's really good.
These ships with the pollen of the exploited working class! I say we fight back!
What's this? Maybe a bee agitator?
Meanwhile, on PS3, Medal of Honor Warfighter is a pile of trash. The multiplayer is dead, meaning half the game is useless. I could only find a server with 4 other people, and even then the game wouldn't let me join due to not having the proper content despite filtering out DLC maps. This crap game had DLC? The single player is another uninspired gray and brown FPS, full of gun-ho tropes and trite gameplay. I didn't play past the third mission due to morbid boredom.
Get down!
Dragon Age Inquisitions on PS3 is another game I played a bit of a few years back, and at the foundation, it really reminded me of the basics in Inquisition from 2014. The talking, dialogue choosing, walking about, camera control, seeing things in the world sparkle, letting you know what you can interact with, combat with face buttons, foreground and background options with those face buttons. Basically, it's a lot like Inquisition. I jumped back where I left off a few years ago, but was instantly lost due to the time between playing. Even though I got a quick debriefing by talking to another main character again, I still had little idea as to where I was doing, and really what was going on. It's not really worth revisiting since Inquisition is out and refines most everything from this game.
Tired of the circle running your life? You could get out of here with us.
On Vita, we have Nihilumbra, which is an indie 2D platformer about how useless life is. You begin in the void as a blob, and immediately leave the void to travel the world, although your birthplace is constantly trying to reclaim you. Now the narrator often switches between antagonizing you to giving helpful details, to just making observations, and then back to antagonizing you. It's quite strange. The game itself revolves around little puzzles with colors giving you different abilities, as in blue color speeds you up, green lets you bounce, and I think Portal 2's orange and blue gel. There's not much else for this to go. Now, Legends of War Patton is another History Channel game, so we all know how great those History Channel games are. It's a strategy game, kind of like Valkyria Chronicles. You control individual units whose movements and actions are restricted by ability points. There is no real cover, and enemies are unaware of your presence unless you walk into their Metal Gear Solid vision cone, and the camera is a total mess. The whole game has a very low resolution look to it, which just adds on to the pile of reasons why you shouldn't play this. Overall, it was a pretty weak month for PlayStation Plus. Now I know people love Dragon Age, but really just play Inquisition. And if you haven't already and are interested, check out Grim Fandango with a game fac handy to make sure it's not frustrating. Fandango is also cross-buy with Vita, though when I initially played the game on Vita, it would crash every now and then, so I would be cautious. Now, hopefully, February has a better offerings, but I'm beginning to believe that PlayStation Plus's golden days are long gone, unfortunately. If you like this video, you can subscribe to our channel and check out all the other dumb stuff that we're doing. You can follow me on Twitter at Number8Axel, and as always, thank you for watching.